Welcome back. Bienvenue, mon ami. Welcome to Maté Talk. Good to be before you all. Hope you have an awesome drink. I'm going to talk about the drink tally in just a second. First, have a look at this. The France perfume experience. You thought that was it. Last week I said, I'm not going to talk about this anymore, and I'm not going to. I just want to let you know that this is on path. But have a look at these extra brands. What? So Kevin and I have only been talking the top level stuff. So tip of that iceberg, JOVOY, Sorador. But under the surface, we've been working on a number of other activities. So those who are joining us on the tour, we've got some exciting things that we'll be sharing with you. We will let you guys know first, but in a couple of weeks' time, or 3 weeks' time, Kevin and I will do a Maté Talk together and we'll disclose more of all these other activities that we have planned for the France Perfume Tour for 2023. Itchy nose. Why? So most of you people going, yeah, if I'm not part of the tour, what do I care? I'm not even going to watch that Maté Talk. The reason why we would say, well, the reason why it would be good to watch that Maté Talk is to give you an idea, a flavor of what we're planning for May 2024. So we'd like to announce that we have a new tour that's scheduled for May 2024. It is going to be in Europe. We haven't decided on the city just yet. We are in conversation with a number of big, exciting brands in that part of the world. So once the dust settles when it comes to all that, we'll disclose a bit more. We are creating a VIP hot list. So if you'd like to be the first to know, and that first to know will also include a special offer. So if you're part of that VIP hot list, we'll make sure that we send you that special offer first before we open it up to the general community. That email so we're only going to send you one email. We're not going to spam you, just a heads up. So if you put your name against that, just know you're going to get one email once all the dust is settled and once we know exactly what is happening. I have got an itchy nose. Excuse me while excuse me, I had to block it. Anyway, so if you put your name into that, we'll make sure that we send that information across to you guys. The tour, so the reason why we're saying check out the Maté Talk that Kevin and I will do together, because you'll see all the different activities that we're doing for the France tour that we're doing now. We are already in conversation with these brands for next year. So we want to create, I guess we're coming from a perfume lover's point of view. So yes, it's about smelling beautiful perfumes, but it's about creating experiences that, well, you just can't walk up to, you know? So different activities that will be exciting for us as perfume lovers. The tour, next year's tour, will include accommodation, similar to this one here, accommodation, food, transfers while you're with us. You will be hosted by Kevin and I. It is a curated tour. It is, we do want to keep the numbers low, so it's not going. We want it to be a very personalized experience. The cost that we're putting this for next year is 15,000 Aussie. So if you want to know more, then make sure you put your name against that. And once we have more information, we'll send that through to you. Boom. All right, let me move on. Drink first, excuse me. Let me just say, I've been so pumped in the last couple of weeks to share this with everybody, to the point where Kevin's like, not yet, just hang tight, not yet. So anyway, I'm excited to let everybody know that, yeah, next year we're doing this again. We've had a lot of messages from people going, why did you not tell me about this earlier? I needed to take time off and yada yada. So now hopefully we're giving everybody plenty of notice to, and when we say May, we're thinking actually mid-May. So that's the sort of time that we're looking at. There are some experiences that we're trying to align around that period. I won't disclose what we're talking about, but for those who are into perfumery, you'll probably get an idea. So anyway, we're thinking mid-May is a fairly nice time to be in this part of the world. Anyway, let me, excuse me. Hello, all right. What are we drinking? So I ask the question every week, what are you drinking? I'm obviously drinking mate. I've got a response from a number of people, coffee. Coffee is the winner. Why do I say coffee all the time? I was in New York and this is a true story. A woman walked in and she said, I need a cup of coffee. And from that, it's never stopped. My brain has always been, whenever I say coffee, I think coffee. So yeah, coffee is the winner. If you are drinking, whatever you're drinking, even if you put it in brackets, just even an emoji, let me know what you're drinking so that way I can tally up. Last month, coffee was the winner, but Maté came in a very tight second place. 16 for coffee, and 15 for mate, which is pretty awesome. So I'm hoping you guys are drinking more and more mate because it's better for you. It's better for you. Is it better for the environment? I don't know, but I know it's better for you. Alors, all right, so, last week we also did a members raffle. And if you're not a member, you can join. Here's how to do it. Click on the join button on the, and actually for some reason it works better off a desktop than it does off a mobile phone or a mobile device. So if you jump on the desktop or a laptop, you can actually join. What do you get if you become a member? Well, every month I do a raffle, and a lucky person will win a chance for me to send them something. Last month, Susie, wonderful young lady from Australia, did win, and she mentioned that she loves all things floral amber, soft florals in that sort of range, amber fragrances. So I've lined up, Susie, this is for you, and for those who might be interested in these particular categories, then check out these fragrances. So the first one that I'd like to point out is Lady Whitesnake. Stefan Humbert Luca, awesome. Well, for those who know the brand, awesome fragrances. This is gorgeous. Wait till you smell this. Beautiful floral, some fruity components to it, but I think it's more the sandalwood white musk in the base that really makes this baby sing. Gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. A local house now, an Aussie house, Flaneur, Vive les Fleurs. And this one here is, I guess, their tribute to all, as in the name suggests, Vive les Fleurs, are all things floral. My wife and both my wife and my daughter love wearing this one here, so I own this one. Well, I don't own it personally. It's not one that I would wear. It's a bit too floral for me, but on a woman, just gorgeous. Anyway, wait till you smell that. You're gonna be very impressed. Le Iris, which is one that I do wear, Santa Maria Novella, it's their first offering when it comes to a parfum. Gorgeous. If you like iris, I love the powderiness, but I also love there's a green component. This baby has both, and it also includes like a jasmine in there. This is, I discovered this in Italy last year when it was first released. Wait till you smell this, just phenomenal. Next one is this one here that I mentioned last week, which is the latest release from a company called Astrophil and Stella, an Italian brand. This is Shanghai 1930. If you like Oolong Cha by Nishane, this beats it. I know that's a big call. That is a really big call, but wait till you get a chance to smell this. Fruity floral, but with a black tea component. Pure magic. Now, one thing that, so Susie, I'm sending you all those, but one thing that Susie mentioned is she does like amber fragrances, and here in Australia, we're going into winter. I reached out to my good friend Ali from ANKA Kush, for those who may have missed a conversation I had or some productions we created together. ANKA Kush, awesome Aussie brand. Excuse me, Ali, incredible perfumer. Twice he's been nominated for the Art and Olfaction Award for different fragrances. So he's just a sensational perfumer. I was gonna say a rock star perfumer, or an Aussie rock star perfumer. Anyway, I reached out to him and mentioned about what we're doing on the channel and the members and blah, 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 blah. And he gifted me Ambre DESTAN, Ambre DESTAN. This is a beautiful amber fragrance. You're gonna get this, by the way, Susie. So this is a full bottle of Ambre DESTAN. Interestingly, it has frankincense, olive balm. I think it even has patchouli in the base. So you think to yourself, heavy hitting kind of fragrances. It's beautifully amber. It has this vanilla note on the opening with a bay leaf, believe it or not. Gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. Amazing for this weather that we're coming into now with winter not far from us. So I'm gonna be sending you those samples and this full bottle. I wanna thank again, Ali. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate you supporting the channel in the way you do. Champion. Alors, boum, boum, boum. Regardez ce grand homme. Voici Luc, mon professeur de français. I cooked it at the end there, dang it. But anyway, this is Luke. I want to point out that this great man here, he's my French professor. So I had the great opportunity of meeting Luke. Actually, I had the great opportunity of meeting Luke and also Sam two awesome men that actually flew in to Milan. So we had a meetup at the Foyer store in Milan recently. Both these guys are not Italian locals. They flew in for this meetup. Had a chance to connect with Luke, and he's always been supportive with my very bad French pronunciation. He's been helping me to exceed from just saying merci beaucoup, bonjour, au revoir, and I'm trying to expand my French because of the France tour that's coming up. Now, on a weekly basis, so he offered this, on a weekly basis, we are connecting via tech, and he is actually helping me with my French. Merci, monsieur. So I just want to do a massive shout out to Luke for his generosity, for his time that he's giving me and helping me, because eau de parfum I can say now before I really had to think about that baby, and some other French words which I'm just trying to get a lot more comfortable in pronouncing them correctly. So Luc, merci mon ami. I do appreciate it, my friend. Alors, all right, moving on. Boop, drink first. Okay, we're moving on with great time because I want to now talk about vanilla fragrances. Before I go there, have a look at this. I'm actually going to be doing a meetup in LA on the 9th of September, Saturday, 9th of September, at the Beverly Hills Perfumery. I did send a message out to Alan. I would like, if anyone who might know Alan, he hasn't responded, anyone who might know Alan or walk into that shop, could you just let him know that I would like to invite people to join, to go to his store basically on that day. Anyone who's interested, I'd love to meet you at that store on that particular day. I'm thinking from a timing point of view, it should be around the midday point. So I don't know, we'll say 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, something like that. So I'll confirm timing shortly, but if anyone who like I said, I sent an email to Alan, he hasn't responded as yet. The reason why I want to connect with him is one, out of courtesy, to let him know that the intention is to utilize, I guess, his outlet as a potential meeting ground, so we can smell some perfumes together, essentially. And what I'd like to do, and this is a long bow here, similar to what I did in Foyer, and that was, excuse me, itchy nose, and that was that I asked the store, so I'd love to ask Alan, can he do something special for you guys? I don't want anything, so just a heads up, there's nothing in it, so I don't want anything coming in my direction. If anything, I'd love like a gift with purchase for anyone who joins us, who ends up, decides to buy something on the day, a little bit of something for you guys. But really, it's just a chance to, I guess, more out of courtesy, let him know that we will be meeting at his particular store. So anyone who might know Alan, if you can get him to reach out. I did send him a message via Instagram and also via email, but I haven't heard but again, I'm sure that he's busy with a million people and people sending him messages. Boom. Now, I did mention earlier that on that US trip that I was going to go to the East Coast, I've had to cut that short because of the France tour. When I first made my bookings for the US, that France tour wasn't on the table. Now I actually need to move across to the tour, make sure that everything is, that all the ducks are in a row basically. All the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, so that when the guests do arrive, that we can just flow into that quite easily. So I've had to cut my US trip short. I won't be going to the East Coast. I'm only staying in the West Coast. So if you are in the US, I realize that there's, like 5 hours difference and yada yada, depending how far east you are. But if you're able to make it across to LA, that would be cool. I would love to catch up. I can make quite a bit of time, meaning that we can meet at Beverly Hills Perfumery and then afterwards maybe get a bite to eat or something like that. You let me know, but yeah, the bottom line is I want to catch up with you guys. I want to meet you guys face to face and talk about perfume, which just sounds cool. That's what it is. It does sound, look, I've done it a few times. I've done it here in Australia. I've got another announcement. I'll do that in the coming weeks. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy the connection. All right, boom, move on. Here we go. I want to talk about vanilla fragrances, but first let me address this. And so I got a message from Aaron, and he raised a really good question, and that is, if I say everything is pure magic, in inverted commas, then how do you gauge that? How do you know what is pure magic? You know, and I guess I wrote back to him. I gave him a fairly lengthy response, and I'm going to summarize that here. The response was, if I say this is the most amazing, and if I say everything is the most amazing, then in actual fact, nothing is. If everything is special, then nothing is. So I do want to address this because one thing that I learned is that when somebody puts up a flag on something or makes mention, sort of verbalizes, says, well, why is this happening? There are 20 people thinking the same thing. So in this case here, Aaron has sort of raised a flag and said, how come you call everything pure magic? And so therefore, it gives me the assumption that many people are also thinking the same thing. So let me address this. For some reason, I get an itchy nose, and I'm sorry, I just picked my nose in front of camera. Excusez-moi. I'm gonna have a drink. Let you have a pause too. Chatty Chatterson over here, talking. But the mission is to keep this under 28 minutes. Can he do it? Here we go. Pure magic. Whenever I do a Maté talk, I curate. Everything that's in front of me is handpicked. And sometimes I actually like grab something, but I put it back. Everything that I put in front of you, I own. It's in my collection. So it's not some random fragrance that's out there. So already, the fact that I own it, it's in my collection, I already consider that as pure magic. So for me, I've selected that. Now, another part to this is if I'm not talking about it, so I haven't raised it, there's probably two reasons. One, I don't own it, and I'm yet to discover it and yet to unbox it, basically. Or two, I have, I guess, experienced it, I've smelt it, but I didn't like it. And as a result, because I didn't like it, I haven't bought it, and it's not in my collection. That's not to say that maybe in time it will come into my collection. So if I'm not talking about it, they're the two reasons. One, I haven't had a chance to experience it, or two, I just haven't resonated with that particular fragrance, and so therefore it's not here. So if it's here, for me, it's pure magic, and it's something that I am constantly talking about. So if a friend will come to me and say, hey, could you recommend some great fragrances? I will show them my pure magics, the stuff that I really love. And so this is the same thing. The other thing too is that I've also recognized I use, so let's say pure magic. I do have a limited dialogue when I do the Maté talks, and that's because I want to limit my brain capacity to think about new words or, I guess, elaborate. Sometimes I get frustrated as I'm editing that I tend to use, I guess, words quite common. I use the same words again and again. Have a look at this. He actually did it on his own accord, and it just turned out that we both did very, our own ethnicity. That's not how you say it. Whenever I try to introduce a new word, if I don't know how to pronounce it, sometimes I get super creative on words, by the way, and I think a lot of you people have given me a flag on this. So if I introduce a new word that I'm not comfortable in saying, then my brain goes, don't say it. And so I limit, I guess, my vocabulary to certain words that I like to use. So sometimes I find pure magic is a word that I like to use again and again, only because I really want to express how much I love it. But, you know, I'm not expressing myself correctly. What I did say to Aaron is if you want me to now distinctly give you the reasons why I love it and in depth, then have a look at my lineup videos. This gives you, because now the truth is those lineup videos take a lot of time. Sometimes to actually bring them to life takes me maybe 2 or 3 days worth of research, just research alone, to make sure that I'm expressing myself correctly so that you as a viewer can go, I understand the difference between that and this, you see. Whereas Maté talk, it's like I'm being chased by zombies and it's just about go, 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 you know, and trying to keep my brain intact moving forward. Boom. Now, how did it all start? It started with this one here, which is Vanille de Tahiti. This is a Paris Monte Carlo fragrance, and I want to come back to this because this is one I said, wow, this is pure magic. So let me just say I'm wearing it today. It is pure magic, but I'm going to define, because I guess the question was, if someone loves a vanilla fragrance, then how would you categorize Vanille de Tahiti against others? So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you 5 fragrances that to me are gorgeous, absolutely divine, but I'll also share why they're different and depending on what you like in a vanilla fragrance, you know, how they can appeal to you. First one. It's safe to say that when you have a vanilla fragrance, that you want the gourmand, in most cases, you want the gourmand component of it. You want that, excuse me, that edible note, that sugary sweet, that divine on skin that you want to just eat that person. Then if that's what you're after, then JOVOY's Fire at Will, there's nothing that will compete against it. Nothing that I've discovered. Let me just say that, because maybe there is something out there, but nothing that I've discovered that will compete against this. I was wearing this last night. I went to see my beautiful granddaughters. The oldest one is about 8 years old. The moment she hugged me, so we're very hugging kind of family. The moment she hugged me, she literally did this, like, you know when you smell something divine, like some food or whatever, and you're like, oh my God. She did this like, yummy. And she pulled back and she looked at me and she said, oh, you smell so good, Buello. And then she got into my chest again, breathed in and pulled back out, and she's like, oh, this smell. And they're obsessed at the moment with beignets. Beignets, you know? Anyway, so she's like, you smell like a beignet. Oh, so if you want a vanilla that is divinely gourmand, that is glorious on skin to the point that you just want to eat the person, then Fire at Will, there is nothing that I've come across that competes against it. It has this beautiful vanilla in the top note, in the heart. It also has a brown sugar component in that heart too. It is a fragrance, so it does have a mimosa note or a floral note. And I can detect, on skin, I detect that beautiful vanilla, sweet, brown sugar sort of component to it, that sugary play. But it does have this beautiful floral note that dances in and out, all right? So it's not like, if anything that's present or prevalent, it's definitely the vanilla note that comes through. But Fire at Will, I don't want to say it, but pure magic, pure magic. The next one that I would recommend, so if we're now moving, so is it masculine, is it feminine? That can only be answered by you, because I wear this, I love it. One of our editors, a young lady, she was wearing this, she loves it. So a man, woman, anybody can wear this, but it just, what are you comfortable with is more the point. If you want something that is, I guess, less sugary, less sort of heightened vanilla, then Guillaume's COURRIER is amazing. This one here is a salty vanilla vibe. It does have patchouli in the base. So it starts off with this wonderful vanilla component to it. It has a sea salt or saltiness to it, almost ozonic on skin. This is, so if you want, okay, so let's say you don't like too much vanilla, sugary, then this might not be the one for you, but then this is the one for you. That aquatic saltiness that comes through, the patchouli in the base, the mustiness that happens there. Give me 1 second. My editor's leaving. See you, Grace. I mentioned to her that I might exceed the time before she left anyway. So this one here, glorious, all right? So pure magic, yes, 100% pure magic. Love wearing this. I guess if you want to say, look, if you're not super comfortable with the floral components, this would be feminine, and this would be a little bit more on the masculine side of things. Alors, next one. I love JAYNE, English brand, and this one here, BYZANCE, has this divine fruity opening. So it has a blackcurrant note on that opening, but it is it's light and it's airy. It has, because I have a hard time with blackcurrant, and I won't tell you what it reminds me of when I smell it, but this one here works because of that fruity component. So that blackcurrant note actually does work really well, but it has like a soft suede leather vanilla component to it. The vanilla comes through very gently. There is a sweetness in that vanilla. I'm not sure what kind of vanilla they use. It could be a bourbon vanilla. I find that bourbon vanilla, so like this one here has a bourbon vanilla. It has a very beautifully rich vanilla component to it. I find that this has the same thing. The difference is the fruitiness at the start with a slight suede never leaves the fragrance. So you're getting this beautiful long lasting, great on skin. I'm trying to say more, but I can't think of anything else other than if you want something that's a little bit different, not as sweet, but a little bit more on that fruity component with that vanilla, just magic. I love wearing BYZANCE. All right. Now let me move on to one that is addictive. And this is the one that started this whole conversation. Vanille de Tahiti. I'm wearing it today. And look, I don't know how much higher I can go above Pure Magic, but whatever that category is, then this is, not that the others are not, okay? So the others I love wearing, but lately, and I know sometimes, you know, when you get addicted to, not addicted, but when you get, when you fall in love with a song and you can't stop listening to it again and again. Well, this is me with Vanille de Tahiti. What I love about this is that it has that vanilla, but it's not gourmand. But it is very realistic and prevalent in the fragrance. It has this beautiful attraction, like vanilla, kind of gourmand, but sweetness with repulsion. For those who may have missed the video that I did with Carlos at Exxon's, we talked about this particular fragrance. He asked me the question at the time, because it's a brand new fragrance. I hadn't experienced it. I didn't know anything about it. And he says, can you detect the floral note that's in there? Or can you detect the note that's in there? And it took me, I was like, I'm literally sweating, because I'm like, I'm not a perfumer. I just love perfume. Trying really hard to work out what was going on in there. It has an equal part magnolia and champaca. And what those two notes do is it creates a floral animalic component to it. When I was with Meo Fushuni, he allowed me to smell some florals that he loves. Osmanthus, champaca, and magnolia. And each one of them he loves because they're chameleon-like, meaning that there's more facets to just floral. And each one of these have a floral component, but they also have this animalic sassiness to it. And this is what this fragrance does, in my opinion, really, really well. I really love fragrances, hence why I guess I'm in love with all things Orto Parisi and Nasumato. They have this attraction, repulsion. You're like, my gosh, come in, oh my gosh, no way. And I find that that Magnolia Champaca has this animalic component to it, but an equal part, this alluring vanilla component. My brain said pure magic. And yet it is. I'm sorry to tell you, it's pure magic. This is glorious. This is the extrait version. Those who might have the EDP version or in the black collection, it's a different fragrance. I haven't experienced the vanilla in that EDP, but taking Carlos's word, he's saying that they purposely created a whole new expression in the extrait. And I have to tell you, you need to experience this. This one here is something quite divine, very robust. It's just gorgeous. Like I said, I'm wearing it today. Just, yeah, man, addictive. Can't stop wearing it. Last one, boom. Let's finish this up. For those who don't know, or for those who know, I should say. And that is this glorious fragrance here by AMOUAGE. What I love about this, I sprayed it the other day. It's so divine. This is, okay, so if you're, so these are at opposite ends of the scale. Here you have a fragrance that is very gourmand, very vanilla, very sugary, almost to the point you could taste. This one here has a beautiful vanilla vibe to it, but with this wonderful incense component. Not smoky, but not dusty, resinous. Anyway, as a winter fragrance, as a deep to calm your soul, calm your mind, the projection, the volume that this fragrance has, there is nothing greater than AMOUAGE Boundless. Really, really impressive fragrance. Strongly recommend if you haven't had a chance to test this out. I don't know about the Northern Hemisphere. I don't know that you would want to be wearing this in the summer or coming into your summer, but here in Australia, coming into our winter, this is spectacular. For those who may have forgotten how great this fragrance is, or maybe it's in your collection, but you know, sometimes it gets lost in other things, bring this baby back out, because honestly, she's glorious. She is really, really beautiful. And that is it, bada bing, baby. Woo! That was how am I doing? 29 minutes, okay. Let's wrap this up. Boom, so there it is. Like 28 minutes, my camera says, dude, you're done. So I'm gonna wrap this baby right up. Thank you so much to everyone. For those who are supporting and participating in the channel, thank you again. I do enjoy reading your comments. Please make sure you write in and tell me your thoughts on this, on the lineup, anything else that might be in your mind. Don't forget, I would love to meet you guys in LA on the 9th of September. 9th of September. So, as I said, for me, that day, I'd love to meet in the midday, and then we can extend, maybe, like I said, get a bite to eat, hang out, smell some perfumes, and get to know one another. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you guys all on the next Month to Talk.